of the year. Highs of 28 degrees. So keep hydrated, look after yourself, and try not to walk up too many hills. Isn't that right, Mr. Baker?
Always do not walk hills unless you absolutely need to.
Well, thank you for walking up high streets from Vision Arts and for joining us here at Pure West Radio HQ today. Always lovely to see you.
But of course, I did say only walk up hills if you need to, and we always need to come to Pure West Radio, right? Always.
Yeah, it's good to stretch those legs.
Oh, absolutely.
It's good to stretch the legs. Lovely to see you. Well, welcome along to the show, Drew. Of course, this is your second home with Behind the Stage Door, but a new home for you, Lewis George from Pembroke. Welcome along to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. So, Drew, first up, what's been going on with you? I mean, it's always manic with vision and shows, and you throw Pembrokeshire Pride into the mix.
Absolutely, we've got to keep going, we've got to keep doing lots of things. Pembrokeshire Pride sort of came about last year, what year are we in? 2022 it came about. And really the reason this came about was, for me, coming from having spent sort of 27 years of my career in between London and New York, and then coming to Pembrokeshire, I really realised that there was something missing. Why are we not celebrating Pride here? Why are we not celebrating the LGBTQ plus community? And so very quickly, I discovered that there wasn't a Pride. There wasn't anything around. So thought, well, let's do it. Let's have a celebration.
How did you feel at that point where you thought, hang on a minute, why isn't that in existence here?
I think there was a shock, I think, because we've come, everything's moving very rapidly at the minute, everything in terms of society and acceptance of people and all of these sorts of things. So I think for me, there was a shock. Why is this not here? Why, other towns and places have their own Pride. Why has Pembrokeshire not got? Carmarthen has a brilliant Pride festival. Why has Pembrokeshire not got one? So it was a bit of a shock. And actually, it took me a very long time to establish was there something, because I went to lots of people and said, "Is there?" And lots of people said to me, "I don't think so. Oh, I don't know." And we were. I remember Fiona and I being at Vision and sort of being passed from pillar to post for who do we talk to about this? Because my other concern at that point was, who does somebody that is struggling within, because who's struggling with coming to terms with their sexuality, changes within themselves. Well, who are they going to, and who are they being signposted to when they have a problem, when they need to talk to somebody? And actually, it became apparent very quickly that they weren't being signposted to anywhere, because there was nowhere to signpost them. So for me, setting up Pride wasn't just about, hey, let's have a party, let's have a celebration. It was more about the long-term goal. How do we create safe spaces? How do we make sure that businesses, organizations are being more inclusive and more accepting? How do we create facilities where people can go and have a conversation if they need to, help if they need to? And I guess that all led to where we're at right now.
We're in 2023 now, Drew, as you rightly so pointed out, and I think it's a very interesting, powerful year. There's lots going on in the world right now, but at the same time, it seems like Pride is being so well supported, and people are really finally understanding and getting what it's all about. Is that safe to say?
Yes, I think so. I think I think, as you say, the whole of society is shifting. There's a gear shift here, not just around our community, but in general. I think we are a more accepting society than we've ever been before, and that that is what's exciting, because I think the one thing for us, and Lewis will talk more about this in a moment, but the one thing for us is that at no point, and I think this goes for prides across the country, nobody ever wants the LGBTQ plus community to stand separately. All anybody's asking for is for it to be inclusive, for everyone to be treated equally, no matter what your gender, your sexuality, your identity, any of those things. Let's all be on that level playing field for everything. And to me, that is what Pride is about. And I think, Pembrokeshire is a place that has now really started to get behind that, and I think we're seeing changes, positive changes. Talking to businesses, talking to councillors, people like that, and I think the fact that this role has been supported, I think, is a massive step forward. Yeah.
I mean, I guess incredibly revolutionary in a sense. And talking about that funding, it's enabled obviously you to take on a full-time engagement officer, which is why Lewis is here today.
And I think I think this is how this all came about, really, was because, if we are going to make significant changes, if we are going to say, hey, we need to educate, we need to be talking to schools, we need to be talking to community groups, we need to be talking to businesses, that can't all necessarily happen with a solely volunteer group. When I set up Pembrokeshire Pride initially, it was just myself and Fiona. That was it. It was the two of us that took on last year's festival. We've now got a committee, and we were able to apply for the funding to bring someone on. And actually, it's going to be a game changer. And I really hope it's going to be a model for other prides up and down the country, because we believe we're the first, certainly in Wales, to have a full-time community pride officer. And now, Lewis has hit the ground running, because it's we're not long till the second pride.
I was just about to say, Lewis, no pressure, my man.
No, just straight in.
I mean, how exciting is this for the community, and what does it mean to you?
So I'm local, and I've grown up in and around Pembrokeshire. I've kind of gone off and come back again. It's just a place that you keep coming back to, and I feel quite strongly within this community that there are avenues that need to be explored, and we need to start having conversations. And I find when I do have some of those conversations prior this role, people really were interested and wanting to find out about the LGBTQ plus community, and just general questions as well, because I think there is a fear around getting things wrong. And there is a big education piece to be had there. So I think when this role came up, it just sounded amazing, and just have that chance to really go for it and really try and bring that to Pembrokeshire is quite an exciting time.
Yeah, most definitely. So how did you feel when you found out the news?
When Drew told me, I didn't believe you, did I? But yeah, I was ecstatic. And I think, I'm quite excited to hit the ground running. It is only a few weeks away, but we're definitely getting there, aren't we? And I think it's going to be a good event for all.
So you started last Monday. It's only your sort of second full week. And it's Pride in a couple of weeks, which we're really looking forward to. Of course, we'll be supporting that here at Pure West Radio. But what are sort of what are the long-term plans? What's the ambition in your role?
For me, I think the ambition, and Drew's touched on it already, is to really set up those links in the community, to become a signposting body so that we can support people. From my own experience, there was no signposting. And until I kind of did move away a little bit, I didn't really know myself or kind of who to speak to about things. And I think that's really important for our community to be able to take hold of that and support each other. And I think as well, we need to bring the communities together. So there are pockets, but it's kind of bringing everyone together. And again, as Drew has touched on, not just our community, bringing the whole county together, having that conversation, having that good time together, and just kind of embracing each other and bringing us all together.
Good stuff. So Pride, when is it happening? When is Pembrokeshire Pride?
July the 15th. We will be releasing, hopefully next week, kind of all the details to do with that, including times, venue, etc. But we can say it will be in Haverfordwest, which is quite central for the county, and we're going to be doing a family-friendly picnic. So it's just a very open space for people to learn about services, supporters, have time with their family as well. Everybody obviously is invited to that, and then we will be having more of a evening at Boulevard Show Bar from about 7 till 12, hopefully. And we will be announcing kind of headliners and things coming up in the next few weeks as well.
Fantastic. Well, the best of luck in your role. History making, groundbreaking. So best of luck with it. And we look forward to hearing more about your journey and indeed everything that you're doing with Pembrokeshire Pride. The best of luck with it.
Thank you very much.
And Drew, always fantastic having you with us here in the studio. I mean, I know another huge milestone. I mean, you must be super proud.
Absolutely. I think it's just trying to make a difference, isn't it? And trying to support Pembrokeshire and support the people of Pembrokeshire as well, and bring in these incredible things that are happening elsewhere. And let them happen here in the county, because it's such a beautiful place, and we have an amazing community here. In general, right across the board, whether it's Pride, whether it's Vision, whether it's Pure West Radio, all of these. I think that there's a word that sums up all of these areas, and they become communities. They become families, don't they? I mean, we're always talking about the Pure West family, and it really is that. So actually, anything that Lewis does or Pure West does or Vision does is about making that whole of Pembrokeshire one big family, one inclusive family.
That's it. And we can't wait for the family to grow and evolve.
Absolutely.
If people would like to help and support Pembrokeshire Pride on the event itself, or they would just like to find out more information about what you're up to, how can they do that?
Well, I mean, they can definitely get in touch with Lewis. I mean, have a chat with Lewis, but they can visit the website, pembrokeshirepride.com, or drop Lewis an email, hello@pembrokeshirepride.com, Lewis would love to talk to anybody that wants to get involved, or if you're listening and you are a business that wants to talk about how you make your business more inclusive, what you can do, what support Pride might be able to offer you within your company, then get in touch. We're putting all of these things together and into practice. So let's work together.
Yeah, most definitely. And employment law is actually changing later on this year. There's a huge amount of legislation going on. I was only recently on a course about it, and inclusive, it is that big buzzword, but it's what it's all about, and we should be doing it anyway.
Oh, 100%.
That's the thing. We should be doing it anyway, but it hopefully just reinforces that. Hello to Callum Watling. He says, hello, Drew. So Callum says hi.
Hi, Callum.
Thanks ever so much. If you would like to know any more, please do check out the website. We'll put all of the links as well to Pembrokeshire Pride on our socials, and of course on the website, and we'll keep you posted with Pembrokeshire Pride. It's going to be a great event that next month. Drew, always lovely to catch up. Thanks for coming in, Lewis. Best of luck with the role. Great to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure having you on. It's Pharrell here on Pure West, and of course, just a cheeky little plug before we go, behind the stage door every Sunday, 5 till 7. If you love musical theatre, come and listen. We have a great time. And this week, we're going to be talking about the Tony Awards that were only this weekend. Oh, fantastic.
Who got big in the Tony Awards. Actually, big year for British theatre. So talking about that
we
on Sunday.
like that. It's on the way this Sunday from 5 o'clock. Don't miss it, behind the stage door with Drew Baker and the lovely Naomi Hicks as well. This is Pharrell Williams and Happy here on Pure West.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.